3 days. That's how long the most powerful AI model on Earth lasted before the US government killed it. Last night, Anthropic shut down Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5 worldwide to comply with a US government order. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what actually happened, why the reason they gave falls apart the second you look at it, and what it means if you build with Claude. Because right now your feed is split between people screaming the apocalypse is here and people insisting it's no big deal. Both are wrong. The truth is more interesting, and the part everyone's panicking about is the part that matters least. Quick context, because the timeline matters. On June 9th, Anthropic released Claude Fable 5 to the public, their most capable model ever. Mythos class. Stripe said it did a code-base migration in 1 day that would have taken their team 2 months. This was a big deal. Then, on June 12th, at 5:21 in the evening Eastern Time, Anthropic got a directive from the US government and pulled the plug. Not just in one country, everywhere, for everyone. Now, I'm not a policy guy, and I'm not here to do hot takes for clicks. I build with these tools every day. I ship open-source software with Claude. So I read the actual reporting and Anthropic's actual statement, and I want to walk you through it the way I'd explain it to a friend who builds for a living. 3 parts. What happened, why it doesn't add up, and what you should actually do about it. Let's go. Here's the official version. The government issued an export control directive. The stated concern is stopping foreign nationals from accessing the model. And here's the detail that made this nuclear. The directive didn't just cover people outside the US. According to Anthropic, it covered any foreign national, including foreign nationals working inside the United States, including Anthropic's own employees who aren't US citizens. Think about what that means operationally. If you can't let your own non-citizen engineers touch the model, you can't really run the model, right? So Anthropic says it had no realistic choice. Instead, it disabled Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for the entire planet. Now, here's the first thing I need you to hear because it's the thing that'll calm half of you down. This only hit the 2 Mythos class models, Fable 5 and Mythos 5. Every other Claude model, including Opus 4.8, the one most of us actually use day to day, is completely untouched. Still up. Still working. So just to give you a micro summary, Anthropic pulled the 2 top models worldwide, but only those 2. So what was the government actually worried about? Because the export control label is hiding something. So it's labeled export control. But Anthropic says the underlying concern is something more specific, a claimed jailbreak of Fable 5. Here's the alleged capability according to Anthropic's own write-up. You could prompt the model to read a specific code base and identify software flaws in it. That's the thing the government pointed to. And this is where, as a builder, I have to stop and go, wait. 2 problems. Problem 1. Anthropic says the government provided only verbal evidence of a narrow, non-universal jailbreak. Verbal. Not a documented exploit. Not a reproducible report. A description. Problem 2, and this is the big one. Read a code base and find security flaws is not some exotic doomsday power. That is a feature. I use models to do exactly that. Anthropic flat out says this capability is already widely available in other public models. They specifically name OpenAI's GPT 5.5. So the official story is, we pulled the most powerful model on the planet worldwide over a verbally described narrow jailbreak that does a thing your competitor's model, still online right now, also does. That's the reason. And I'm sorry, that doesn't add up. Micro summary. The real trigger is a thinly evidenced jailbreak for a capability that's already everywhere. Which brings us to the part Anthropic really doesn't want to talk about. Here's the part that's almost too on the nose. For months, Anthropic has been the AI company waving the safety flag the hardest. AI is getting too dangerous. We need to be careful. That's their entire brand. And then, days after publicly warning that AI is becoming too dangerous, they shipped their most powerful model to the public. And Sam Altman, of all people, had already called this out. He described Anthropic's whole approach to its top model as, quote, fear-based marketing. He compared it to a company saying, "We have built a bomb, and we will sell you a bomb shelter." Now, I'm not saying Altman's right about everything, but sit with the sequence. You spend months telling the world your technology is uniquely dangerous. You build the marketing around how powerful and scary it is, and then you're shocked when a government takes you at your word and yanks it off the shelf? That's the irony. Anthropic's safety positioning may have just been used as the exact justification to shut them down. When you spend years saying this thing is dangerous, don't be surprised when someone with power agrees. Anthropic's own danger narrative is the thing that armed the people who pulled the plug. But none of this answers the question you actually clicked for. Does this affect you? And this next part is the one I actually care about, because it's the part that affects everyone watching who writes code or builds with these models. Most of the coverage gets it backwards. They're panicking about the wrong thing. So let's be practical. If you're building with Claude right now, what changes for you? Honestly, almost nothing. And here's why. The only two models pulled were Fable 5 and Mythos 5, the brand new, top-tier, expensive Mythos class models. Mythos 5 was barely even public. It was limited to cybersecurity partners and select biomedical researchers. And Fable 5 was 3 days old and priced at $50 per million output tokens. Most of you weren't running production workloads on it yet. Everything you're probably actually using, Opus 4.8, the Sonnet line, the whole standard lineup, none of it was touched. If you're shipping code with Claude today, your tools still work. Your workflow is fine. Don't rip anything out. Don't panic migrate. The lesson here isn't abandon Claude. It's the thing I bang on about constantly on this channel. Don't build your entire workflow on a single bleeding edge model that's 3 days old. Use the stable, proven tier for real work. Treat the brand new flagship as an experiment until it's earned production trust. That's just good engineering. And it happens to also be your insurance against exactly this kind of overnight rug pull. Practically, you're fine. Only the two newest top-end models went down, and the boring stable ones are untouched. So if it doesn't really affect your workflow, why is this still a big deal? Because of what it sets up. Here's the part that actually matters. Forget Fable for a second. Last night, the U.S. government demonstrated that it can force a private company to shut down a commercially deployed AI model, one already in the hands of hundreds of millions of people worldwide in an evening over verbal evidence. Anthropic itself said it disagrees that a narrow potential jailbreak should be grounds for recalling a model at that scale. That's the precedent, not Fable got banned. The precedent is, the thing you build your business on can be switched off by a directive you never see, for reasons you can't audit. That's a supply chain risk now, for all of us, and it's brand new. The model getting pulled is temporary noise. The capability to pull it is permanent, and that's what you should be watching. So here's my take, for what it's worth. The official reason doesn't survive scrutiny. The irony is that Anthropic's own safety branding handed the government its justification. If you build with Claude, you're fine today. Use the stable models. Keep shipping. But the precedent that a live commercial model can vanish overnight, that's the story to actually watch. I want to know where you land on this. Drop a comment. Government overreach or Anthropic getting exactly the regulation it asked for? I read every.